Hello and welcome to Move the Line, presented by SharpStack. Ryan in. Back here for week 6 takeaways, week 7 look ahead. Joined as always by Connor Allen. What's going on, my friend?
Yeah, not much. We got a live event tonight. Hopefully see some of you guys there. I think there's some people in the chat on Friday that said that they were coming. So that'll be cool. Both of us will be there, a bunch of other people. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, not too late to come out. Frontier at 6 p.m. I think is what's going on. Should be a good time.
Getting me out of my dungeon to go to the city on a weeknight.
I think you can blame Ed though. I think that's mostly Ed thing, and being a good
good company man,
group employee. Yeah.
Yes, good company man. Yeah. Ed's coming into town, so yeah, I definitely want to hang out with him, and hopefully some other of our friends will be there as well. Looking forward to it. A couple of, I think, interesting games too, which is part of why I want to leave in time to get there. I don't want to miss some football. I think we have some interesting football games to watch tonight too, so that's part of it. But first we're going to jump into some of our takeaways for week 6. We got the first coach fired answered since we joined Mayo this morning. So we get some takeaways there, and then look forward at some of the early lines for week 7, and then we'll kind of walk through SharpStack here and get some maybe some Monday Night Football takeaways from the tool. If you have not taken advantage of the free 7-day trial of SharpStack yet, highly recommend and encourage you to do so. And that's it, 7 days for free. Just go to 4for4.com/plans. Get a new suite of betting tools that we have over at 4for4, including EV tool, which is a fantastic top-down betting tool we're going to walk through. Again, it comes with a bunch of other stuff, including middles tool, ARB tool. We got the best prop screens that you can find out there as well to make it really, really easy for you as you try to pick off some of these prop lines. Check it out. Again, free. But you want to take advantage. MTL 50 gets you 50% off of your first month. It's a great deal. And again, gets you access to all that we do on the site. So if you want to get, Paulson season-long stuff, you want to get the DFS stuff, it's there for you. You can take advantage, free 7-day trial. Come back on Friday, 3 p.m., prop drop. Yes, Gunnar Helm. I was bemoaning this. I was tilted. I blew up our chat talking about it. I was so mad. I talked about it with Mayo today. He was going to get there. But unfortunately, Cam Ward dropped the ball, literally and figuratively, trying to throw to him there at the very, 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 very end of that game. But yeah, it's a tough beat. I'm done with these bad quarterbacks, Connor. I told you this earlier, sweating out Isaiah Davis, who's hitched his wagon to Justin Fields early in the day. This is 2 weeks in a row. I've had some Tennessee Titans pass catchers, and I have to watch a lot of Cam Ward and the Titans. And I'm out. It's going to be part of my handicap now. He's good opportunity, low line situations with these players that are attached to really bad, inefficient offenses and bad quarterbacks. I should just be playing unders, Connor.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough though. I think all the logic made sense. And I think that some of the problem with betting these, so I think you can bet bad players on good teams or okay teams in stable situations, and you can bet maybe decent players in decent situations. But the problem we run into with TBD, Gunnar Helm's probably fine. I don't know. I mean, I think he's
he's a 6th-round rookie tight end. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe. He's probably fine. In bad situations, is I think part of the reason that I love taking these shitty unders and stuff like that, low is I think the floor on these guys is so much lower than what you can't project Justin Fields at 45 passing yards. That would be a terrible projection, but it's in the range of outcomes only for a guy like Justin Fields,
It's fair.
So I don't know. I kind of think that the more that I've done this, I like the shitty overs, the over 10 yards, but on better teams, decent teams or better. Yeah. So I don't know. We're figuring it out as we go, right? I mean, we don't know everything.
Yeah. Look, I mean, felt good. I think if you read the handicap, you probably would feel good. You would, it's part of my job is to kind of sell you on what I saw that, hopefully makes you feel better and tail it. But yeah, I felt good about it. And it was a tough beat. Yeah. Them dive-back QBs than being under dork like Connor. Yeah. I mix them in. They are partial units for me. They're not things that I'm also pushing out to subscribers because it's, a miserable process. I think of the 2 losses that I have that stick with me the most this year were unders on tackles that I push out to the group. And it's Kenneth Walker hasn't gone over. Kenneth Murray has not gone over his tackle line again. since he did in week 1 on an island game, the first game of the season, where everyone's like chomping at the bit to get the season started. Oh, tackles are back, and here we go, like an L and an under in week 1. It sits with me. And then Cedric Gray, who popped off for fucking 95 tackles. An under would have looked like he was going to be benched, and is definitely not benched. So, hey, what do you do? Let's live and learn, try to make better decisions the next week. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Jeff. Like, to live your life as an underbetter, tough.
Incredible.
You had a good week, week 6. So it's good. Hey, not hating the process. You printed last year, so not hating the process. Just
no, I gotta catch up with you this year, though. I think you and Jake were ahead of me. We had some, people in the Discord who were upset with, like, I think we had just like a bad Sunday Night Football. I think it was like 2 of Jake's and my picks lost. Like, because Jared Goff, like, imagine being down 20 and not being able to complete, like, not even have 5 attempts. Like, you just went 4 and out. Like,
yeah.
Well, what kind of fucking bullshit ass offense is this? Like, I mean, what are we doing here? So yeah, that sucked. And then people were like, "Oh, we're not making any money," blah blah blah. Like, I mean, it happens. Like, we're gonna have up and downs. It's like it's betting doesn't go like this. Like, it's gonna be like this, and we're up and up, and then it'll eventually get its way up there. But it's not a straight line. So we'll get there.
Not straight line. And I think you made a great point. Like, that's having realistic expectations is an important piece. Unit sizing is an important piece. We've been doing this for like 6 years now with third-party tracking. Neither of us have had a losing season. And I'm not like talking about like skin of your teeth, profitable, like typically minimum 20, 25 unit profitability for, 5 years in this current iteration at 4 for 4, third-party tracking, all official plays, all multiple outs, write-ups, all that stuff. There's also other value that I think that you did a good job laying out too. Like you watched the show on Friday. Hopefully you got the Matthew Golden uncorrelated, because that hit, depending on like what you played for his yards, at like 7 to maybe 13 to 1. You hit one the week before with Travis Hunter. Like I lost last night on Gibbs receiving, but I also gave out a correlated Shamari Connor and Amon-Ra reception parlay that I say, hey, these are correlated really well. I like the Connor line. He got there at the half, and that hit right away in the middle of the third quarter. So look, it's going to be ups and downs, but just off of the official tracked plays, we've been doing this for a very long time, and you just got to ride it out. Like, you have to be thinking about this in a 22-week window of, regular season and playoffs, and not get locked into the ups and downs in week 1, a singular week. It's going to happen. Sorry guys. Like Connor said, we're betting all these as well, at least all of that. And probably with most of you, probably for more than you are at times. And like that's just part of it too, right? Like, we don't feel great about having a losing weekend personally. And then I also feel bad when anytime but hey, I can have a good week. I can have a winning week because I got 3 plays tonight. Feel good about them. We got some good CLV, and it can end up being all for naught. But yeah, hey, what are you gonna do? So, all right, let's buzz through some of the week 6 games and talk about some of our highlights, and then look at how that's kind of transpired on the betting board here for early week 7 stuff. Feels like a lifetime ago, but we did have a Thursday night football upset with the Giants and the Eagles. This Jackson Dart situation where, like, it looked like they've had a couple of games where the first 15, like the early scripted stuff, looked good. Like, I was thinking, like, hey, should it just be betting Giants first quarter stuff? But they seem to build the full plane out of the first 15 against I don't know, we thought the vibes were bad, but they were still 4-0. But now the Eagles are scuffling a little bit. What are your takeaways? Again, it always feels like a lifetime ago when we're talking about a 34-17 Giants win from 4 days ago.
Didn't what's his name retire? They had a guy retire today.
Zadarius Smith.
Yeah,
who's been playing pretty good for them.
I mean, you don't retire like if you're like things are going well. I mean,
yeah, it's weird.
Very weird. The vibes are awful. I tweeted out last week. I was like, this is the worst vibes for a 4-1 team ever. They go out and just get, kind of get their dicks kicked in by the Giants, honestly. Like, it was like a pretty dominant win. And I don't think the Jackson Dart is awesome. I don't think that their team is awesome. They get good pass rush, and Jackson Dart can occasionally make some plays with his legs. Scadaboo's just like a vibes Peyton Hillis. Like, I don't even know. Like, he just smashes through dudes. Like, I don't know if he's really all that good either, to be honest. So like it's all these guys who I don't know if they're any good. I don't really have much reason to believe in the team, but they're fun and they're like the opposite vibes. They're 2-4, and they have significantly better vibes than the Eagles right now. We're 4-2, way more talented, way better team. But I don't know. I mean, they beat him. So for me, it's kind of just like the Giants are going to be a team I'm probably not betting against, but maybe there's going to be some value, honestly, in betting against them in the future.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the Giants coming into the season was just a schedule, right? Schedule was brutal, remains brutal. But what are you do? I mean, at Denver, at Philly, San Fran. I mean, they're dogs the rest of the way. But again, at least they're a little bit more viable. We do have Jackson Dart as the new offensive rookie of the year favorite in the betting markets after Emeka Egbuka went down with a hamstring injury. Does typically play itself out as that type of market where if you get a quarterback that shows a pulse, that's going to play for the majority of the season, which is kind of where we'll be here at the end with Jackson Dart. That bodes pretty well. It's not a bet that I'm looking to make, but congratulations if you have some early numbers on Dart there. He's, I think, probably the deserved favorite. I know that you have a different look. We'll probably get to that here shortly, and I think it's a really good look. It's probably the best look on the board price-wise. But Jackson Dart, the favorite, I think it's really fascinating. But continue to be dogs.
So good.
It's true. Jeff, no hat. Jeff, occasionally we'll mix in no hat. I don't know. Like, hair looks decent. It's my GRP. Took a shower today. Hair looks good.
You think GRP's coming out tonight? Should I text him and ask him out? I just don't want to
have No, because we've crossed the line. GRP's coming out our boy, the whale capper. I'm not okay with this.
He's coming at whale for what?
He's coming at whale capper. He's now going to be track whale.
Oh,
he's a fancy talker. I'm out. Like,
wow.
I didn't like when he was doing it with Chernoff, but like, you don't come at whale. Consider whales, part of the family, and that's Bush League. So, start tracking people when you winning a bunch of bets. When you're taking a bunch of L's all the time, you make your brand to try to body other people. It's not a good look.
Has whale clapped back or responded?
I've not seen it. I have not seen it. I just saw George with it and saw some stuff in our chat. So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
15 minutes is hopefully up here soon. So, all right. London game started off Sunday. For what was fascinating, were as bad as Justin Fields and the Jets were. They had the lead late in that game, had a legit shot to win the football game and couldn't figure it out. Again, like the clock management, the unwillingness to play actual football and be competitive was just wild. The first half stuff was insane. I agree. Like the end of the game stuff was nuts. Should we just be like questioning about the Broncos moving forward? 13-11 win in London.
But they've beaten some good teams though, and they've like lost to not good teams. And so this is like one of those things where I think they're just maybe they play down to their competition. Maybe they just I don't know. For me, I'm a little bit befuddled by the Broncos. What I feel good about is that their defense is very good and that their offense can be okay. You know how many guys had a carry for the Broncos on Sunday? I'm just looking this up now. This is crazy. 8 different players had a rushing attempt. Marvin Mims, Jaleel McLaughlin, Troy Franklin, Adam Prentice, RJ Harvey, Evan Ingram, Bo Nix, and J.K. Dobbins.
So weird. You get all these different wide receivers in the mix, tight ends in the mix, on sweeps and stuff. Yeah, that's fascinating. I mean, they're home to the Giants here in week 7. Basically 6.5, 7's out there too. It's, you know what? I'm with you. I'm not down on the Broncos. It's just kind of a weird game. And I think the overseas stuff is weird too. It's a tricky spot.
Another good spot for a Jackson Dart under, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it all could come crashing down again here. It doesn't like to throw that much anyway, so it's fun.
Giants first quarter, Broncos game. Yep. Stuff.
Yep. Love it.
Other one, Rams on the road in Baltimore. They end up covering, I guess, winning by margin, but a kind of a strange situation with the way that game played out. Really couldn't pull away. It was, 3-3 early miss, like field goal. This is the Puka stuff that I was worried about, Connor. Like, just feels inevitable with the way he plays and just things happen. And Looks like Puka's going to be out for a little bit with an ankle injury. Good call by you on the weekend too. Like, not really thinking that the Cooper Rush stuff and the risk of benching was tied into his market numbers, and it probably should have been. And I tailed it gently, and I was annoyed that I should have tailed it more aggressively. So 17-3 win as the Ravens kind of shift into, I think, early season, preseason Ravens coming out of the bye. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean their running game got going. This game could have easily gone way different. Like, they stopped the field goal and then a long drive. I think got stuffed on the 1, maybe on a 4th and goal, something like that. So, which would have put them up, I think, either 10-3 or maybe tied at 10-10. I don't remember exactly when that was. But they were just like, I think that's how they're gonna have to win right now, like, at all without Lamar. But I think Lamar's coming back, so it's good to see their running game get going. Their defense played better than I expected. I mean, that's like they
did.
They're going to figure it out even with the injuries. I think they're going to figure it out and like how to make it work. Not going to be as dominant as we thought, but I mean, and then the Stafford Puka stuff is not good, with Puka likely to misquote sometime, as you mentioned there. So we'll see. I mean, the Rams are just, again, great when everyone's healthy and wildly fragile if Stafford, Puka, one of those two is down. I'm interested to see what it looks like without Puka, because I think Adams can carry most of the load, to be honest. I think he's good, but I mean, Puka's just been such a beast. Like, it's really tough to replace that kind of production.
He trusts him so much. Yeah, I think it's going to be really hard to take advantage of that. And like, Tutu Atwell with a hamstring that popped up midweek, like that could be he was questionable heading into the game, but that could be a multiple week injury too, right? So there was some guys being dusted off, getting routes in that game that I was like, who is this? So that for a little bit is going to be tricky. So again, the Rams do have a week 6 bye. I'm sorry, week 7 bye here. So at least they got 1 week off. Helps Tutu a little bit, but be interested to see. They are extraordinarily fragile. Carolina 30-27 against Dallas. Again, the Rico Dowdle show, bonkers with his back-to-back insane performances. This is like, I feel like we keep doing this to the Panthers. I don't know that we're wrong, but like, we kind of put the Panthers stuff last week in a box because like, that was the Dolphins. Even the good stuff that like we saw from them a couple weeks ago in the second half of that game against the Cardinals, and all the Cardinals, like, they literally lost 3 corners in the game. I'm like, oh man, Cardinals aren't that good, and they lost all their corners. Right. And like, now we're doing it against Dallas, who also, I don't know how good they are. Like, Dak's very good, but the defense is struggling. You're not stopping the run. You wanted to invest in stopping the run because Micah couldn't stop the run. Well, no one's stopping the run. It looks like your corners are basically, I mean, like baseball fans, 3 true outcomes, right? We're looking at like pick 6 or just getting absolutely cooked. Ted McMillan went off. Rico went off. Bryce looked good. The run defense has been pretty good. They really shut down Dallas and kind of made them play with one hand time behind their back. They tried. They looked pretty good getting George Pickens involved. But any takeaways? Are we kind of shorting the Panthers here incorrectly?
No, I think they still suck. But they get the Jets next week. So
it's true.
Like, you get the Jets, and then it gets a little bit harder there from there. So you got the Jets next week. I mean, it would honestly not surprise me after 2 wins against the Dolphins and Cowboys that they like lose to the Jets. Like, that would not surprise me at all. But the Jets are, I think, a worse team than the Panthers right now. But then they have Bills at Packers next 2 weeks after. So if they do beat the Jets, I don't know, great buying point on whatever you want to bet on the Bills and Packers, because, I mean, those spreads just can't be high enough, I don't think.
This has moved a little bit too. This was even for the most part now. Let's see. We are getting Panthers are, anywhere from 1.5 point favorites to 1 point underdog. I think this is 2.5. Jets were 2.5 point favorites in look heads. So there's some positive market sentiment on the Panthers. Again, not huge moves. We're flip flopping on the other side of 0, but not nothing. So interested to see what happens. And then, like, to your point, I don't know if we even get the answers of what the Panthers are here against the Jets. So,
I mean, are we going to see a
tough matchup against the Jets, right? But if the Panthers run D is a thing, like, what are you going to do? You can obviously throw on them. Like, Mike Jackson got cooked by by George Pickens all day. But the Jets might not have Garrett Wilson. I don't know. We should be jumping on this Panthers line, which is wild. Panthers road favorites, and we're like, yeah, let's lay it. I feel like that's the right side.
Gets me jacked up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just, the good news is we don't have to bet every game, so I'm probably just not going to bet that one. But I do think that the Panthers are probably the right side.
Hell of a point. I don't have to bet every game. 31-27 Colts against a let Jacoby Cook Cardinals offense that showed a pulse without Kyler Murray, who it's tough. And Marv went down in the middle of this one with a concussion. Kind of wanted to see more of a solidified curb stomping here from the Colts to really think that they're like legit. But again, I definitely think that they're rightfully where they are in the division, should win this division again if they don't have just a cluster of injuries. Got some good pressure, which again, against Jacoby Brissett, they should be able to do. But that's it. They can really mask some of the issues they have in the secondary, Connor, if they're able to generate pressure like they did in this game. Any takeaways here on the Colts side?
I think they went super pass heavy with Brissett, which is interesting. I mean, 44 attempts for Jacoby, just 24 carries on the ground, split backfield with Bam Knight and Michael Carter. Definitely it was an interesting choice there. I mean, I heard some rumblings that was going to be the case coming into this game, that they might just go like pass heavy. I didn't think 44 attempts. Shout out to you for talking about Brissett being underrated, potentially, or being like, not as good as Kyler, but like.
I just wanted to talk you off of blind betting all Cardinals receiver unders. That's basically all I was trying to do.
Yeah, and I did play some Marvin Harrison Jr. unders and got lucky because I got really lucky. He had 32 receiving yards like in the first half, maybe early in the first half, like second quarter, something like that, and got injured. So definitely got lucky there. One of the many benefits of betting unders,
It's true.
But I didn't release it. I just played it personally, and then I talked to you guys, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to add anything else. So it wasn't a big play, just something small. And then the Colts, like Tyler Warren, you mentioned, like us talking about, rookie of the year here. I think he's in a great spot. He's as high as I still think 9-1 in some spots. He's 6-1 in most places, but let's see here. Now it's plus 750 FanDuel's best price. So I think that's a good look. I think honestly right now, 30% plus target share, just continues to be dominant, crushing on a good team. Like they're going to keep winning. He's, going to put up some of the most tight end rookie yards ever. Like it should be comparable to Brock Bowers last year, I think. I don't even know, what is he on pace for right now? Like, is he pacing for that, or is that like, or less? Like, but either way, he's gonna be super involved in an awesome team
for sure. Yeah. The Puka stuff actually kind of helps Jonathan Taylor in the offensive player of the year market as well. Again, really tough to grab these lines currently. Looks like MGM's a little off market. I know it's tough to get down a bunch there, but FanDuel and Caesars at plus 150. He's the favorite, sizably, really. But Bijan and Jackson Smith and Jigba right behind them. Puka dips obviously quite a bit because you're looking at probably at least a game or more. Again, the bye week helps, so maybe not. But maybe it's time to buy the dip on Puka. But any thoughts on Jonathan Taylor, offensive player of the year?
I kind of think this market's pretty like open. I don't know. I think that there could be like someone that comes out and just kind of crushes. Like Jonathan Taylor's obviously been a stud, but there's going to be games which the Colts are not going to be able to run the ball 20 plus times, and things just might become a little bit different there for that, like for those outcomes. So I don't know I don't know if there's anyone down the board that like makes sense to you. I feel like, I don't know. It's like James Cook's been playing super well. Jahmyr Gibbs could obviously just start crushing down the stretch easily.
There's one name. It's interesting to me. Josh Jacobs at 60.
Yeah.
Like he's just not that different than Jonathan Taylor. And if you get the situation where like these both guys are just scoring every week, and if you have a couple of breakout games for Josh Jacobs and the Packers win the division, because that's kind of the leg up that I would think Jonathan Taylor has right now on Josh Jacobs, is that their Colts are the clear favorite to win the South, whereas obviously there's a lot more competition for the Packers to win that division. 60 probably feels, maybe he should probably be at least 30 or so, right? If he's really continues to be really good, they win the division, and he scores 16 times on the back of, 1,500 plus all-purpose yards, and they don't lose too many more games. I think that's probably pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like that one. Just things I would have never said before the season. Rico Dowdle, higher chance of winning Offensive Player of the Year than Bucky Irving and Kyron Williams. Well, crazy times.
Yeah. All right, next public play. It seemed like I didn't hear anyone on Jacksonville this week. Seattle goes on the road 20-12 without, 3 starters in the secondary, generated a ton of pressure up front. DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Murphy, Uchenna Nwosu, all really, really strong in this game. Again, Jacksonville, fraudulent. Lawrence under pressure, cannot get it done. They did shoot themselves in the foot again, but that kind of speaks to it too, is just, I don't say not well coached, but like you just can't have that many penalties. Awful penalty, obviously on the rook here, Travis Hunter lining up in the neutral zone on a 61-yard Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown. But again, I think they still had 12, 13 penalties in the day, some holds that were really costly. In Seattle, Sam Darnold continues to play really good ball. JSN is absolutely cooking right now and feels somewhat unstoppable. There's really no one else. It's a bunch of guys being okay around them, but man, he is dominating target share. That everything's going through him, kind of like these, peak wide receiver ones. And he's very much that right now. Seattle's real. 3-0 on the road here with Mike McDonald.
Cooper Kupp, 3 targets to Jackson Smith-Njigba's 13. I think the only reason that Cooper Kupp's doing anything, honestly, is because of Jackson Smith-Njigba being out there and being the alpha. And so sometimes they just forget about Cooper and he's just oh, okay. He's he's playing his zone heavy team and just sits there and just finds his zone. I think he can still do that. That's still in his wheelhouse. But yeah, this Jags team, 12 carries for 27 yards for Travis Etienne. I was very close to playing Etienne under. Should have pulled the trigger, obviously, in hindsight. But still, I think this team, we probably want to keep fading. Their record is 4-2, but I don't think that they're a 4-2 worthy team. So we need to find ways to keep fading them. Where are they at this week?
That's right. Yes. So the Rams have a bye next week after they come out of this London game. So yeah, Rams, Jags in London this week. Rams 3-point favorites.
I mean, I would like them, but I don't love it. Without Puka,
yeah, I know
that's tough.
We don't have to bet every game.
We don't have to bet every game. That's the good news.
Yeah, I don't want Jacksonville. I just don't. I don't want Jacksonville with that offensive line that's struggling, with Lawrence struggling under pressure. That Rams front's going to be able to get pressure, and that's kind of enough. I'm also not dying to lay the 3, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, Newsome got hurt in that game, left early, played 17 snaps. So that's a bummer. You make a trade at corner and the guy goes down. So I don't know the how that's going to play out for this week, but it's not great for them overall. Seattle is another interesting side here for week 7. They play at home against Houston. Again, Houston coming off of a bye, but tough travel spot, tough road game. And 3-point favorites. Seattle. It's juiced up, actually moving out to 3.5 in a lot of spots. Happy to fade Houston.
Yeah, 3 is a really good look there. 3 -128 circa, 3.5 in other areas, but it's -102. So I don't know if you really want the 3. I'm sure you can get it at -120-ish, 125 if that's important to you. But I think, Seahawks alts are probably in play here. I think it probably helps the Seahawks that they're playing on Monday night, right? So it's they get not a mini bye, but an extra day of rest to kind of combat the full Texans bye. So I don't know. I'm just not very convinced that the Texans can figure anything out. I think it's kind of telling when you come into a season, you got a full off season to prep. You got a new OC coming in, and I think you can kind of tell pretty quick what the deal is, and if they got it or not. And I just don't think Nick Haley. I don't think he's got it.
Yeah, I mean, what we saw from them last time before the bye is against a ravaged Ravens team. It's not It's not real, right? Like I said, Sam Darnold's playing really good and not getting enough credit for it, I don't think. And while the running back situation is annoying to fantasy owners, and it makes the prop market a little bit challenging. 2 really good backs, and they're figuring it out. And you'd rather, I guess, have two than have none. And I don't know. Still want to buy anything Seattle wise. I still think that they're really interesting. Where are they at to win the division here? Maybe we need to be looking at some futures on this side, because again, with the injuries to the Rams, again, Rams just being, I don't know, they can be really thin. The Niners continue to have massive, 3-1. It's kind of interesting.
It's a pretty good look. I mean, they've been pretty injured too. Like we need Witherspoon back. We need, someone else was out too last week.
Yeah, Julian Love was out. Reek Woolen was out. Reek Woolen's struggling this year, but Love and Witherspoon are really impactful for them. So that's they're getting good play. Same thing. They're like, they got 6 guys in the tight end room. Like they're getting production kind of from all of them. Like they just find ways to get it done. So 3-1. That's an interesting look. I like that. I like Seattle.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next, the Chargers win in Miami. Would have been a bad loss for them. They needed some late fourth quarter heroics there. 29-27. No QJ here. And we saw kind of a nice game from Ladd in particular. Some questions about what's going to happen there in the backfield, and kind of ran a hot hand. It was kind of split evenly. And then Kamani Vidal really ran away with it there. Looked at just a bowling ball. Like reminded me of like old school MJD. I like just all thigh, real small, low to the ground. Looks really good. 18 carries, 124 yards, some really big plays, and Miami struggling down bad. I mean, every time I had that game, every time I looked, it's just like Etienne's running for 10 yards, 8 yards. Like, how are they not winning? Like, first of all, how are they running all over the Chargers, who've had a really good run D? And then how are they not winning this football game? Because it feels like they're doing whatever they want on the ground. But vibes real down in Miami still.
Yeah, vibes are real down in Miami. Like, I mean, they came out today, though, and said, like, it would take a lot or take something, like, big for them to fire Mike McDaniel, which is interesting. I don't know. Maybe they're looking through – maybe he's looking through the trees and seeing everything here, like, looking and seeing, like, all right. I mean, I think Mike McDaniel's a good coach. They just need some vibes change with Tua. Maybe it's Tyreek, like, clear them out. I don't know, help the defense a little bit. I think personally they should just be building from the offensive line. Like they just probably need like 5 straight drafts of like multiple offensive linemen, you know what I mean, to try and insulate whatever they have there, because you can't even run like Mike McDaniel doesn't even have like his full allotment of plays, because if you remember early, like their offensive line was pretty good and they were hitting like Tyreek deep like all the time, and like it opened up the short game so much more for them. But now that it's like all they have is a short game, then I mean, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, you had Terron Armstead at left tackle, and you had some bodies up front that could kind of solidify things, and everything was so timing oriented. And now it just feels he feels in his own head, not confident. And you take, obviously Tyreek stepping back a little bit. Now you take him out of the lineup. Like you're having to lean on Darren Waller, who has again surprised us, I think, but like just shouldn't be that heavily like dependent upon, right? Like for that to go. So 3 picks for Tua. The first one was Waddle's fault, to be honest. Like Waddle dropped the ball, bobbled in it, but 3 picks, turned the ball over. Defense remains an issue. They have 4 guys up front. They should have a really strong pass rush, and they just can't seem to get home consistently either. So that's a little bit challenging when, everything that you have defensively is predicated on your ability to get pressure up front, because that secondary is porous. You're not getting home enough. This is why everyone thinks your coach should be fired. 1-5 boos are out pretty loud. So tough scene in Miami. What's going on with them this week? They are road dogs in Cleveland, which I think is a fascinating game. The Miami, Cleveland, and Carolina Jets games are real barn burners.
Yeah, I don't know if they're a good matchup for I just don't know if Cleveland is a good matchup for Miami. Like Miami feels like a team that might lose by a lot to Cleveland. If they go back to Quinshon Judkins, like I bet Dylan Gabriel probably plays fine. And on the other side, like Cleveland's defense is still very good.
Very good. Just run the football, Cleveland. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, literally just do the opposite of whatever you did last week. Just run the football, play decent defense, and let Miami beat themselves. I mean, it's borderline inevitable.
Yeah. Segue into that's our next one. 23-9 Pittsburgh. It was a impossible schedule spot for the Browns, having played last week in London. You get another road game in the division against a team coming off of a bye. Just unprecedented situation. And like Rodgers played okay, played well enough. He took advantage of a good matchup for DK Metcalf. He cooked. Defense had a field day. Like they really played extraordinary football, I think. And again, I don't know. I don't know why you would just drop the quarterback back 56 times against a really strong pass rush when they've struggled against the run. But that's what Kevin Stefanski and company did. They put a lot on Dylan Gabriel, and he was not up to the challenge. Though this game was actually closer than I think the score even indicated. Like this was contested football game, 1-score game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they could have easily won. I just think it's more of a testament of like Pittsburgh not being all that dominant of a team. Their record is 4-1. I think we talked about this though, pre-flop or pre-like season is like their early season was going to be good. They were going to be like they could win a bunch of these games, and then after this game, or maybe after the next couple of weeks, let me see what it is. It's like, I mean, I guess the Bengals are easy too. They have the Bengals, but then it's like Packers, Colts are tough, obviously now. Chargers are tough. Then it's Bengals again. I mean, but then they have this stuff like Bills, Ravens, Lions, Ravens again with Lamar. I would assume both those games. So like, I think this is a great, well, maybe not this time, but against after the Bengals game, I think it's a pretty good sell spot here on this Steelers team.
I agree. They are favorites now in the division. That did shift because that was not the case, but that situation is tough. That schedule gets rough, and then the Baltimore schedule softens up quite a bit. It is fascinating. We touched on it with Mayo this morning. We'd definitely love to have a bigger number on the Ravens, but I do think they're the right bet if you're looking to limp into the futures market and take some AFC North stuff. The Ravens coming out of the bye, other guys that have been out are like most of them are not season-long injuries, most of them. So that is important to look at. So they're going to get healthy coming out of the bye and start playing downhill, I think, a little bit because that schedule softens up. So wouldn't jump in on the Steelers now, I guess.
No, I think Baltimore's fine, but yeah, like plus 180 is like the best price. Don't love it. They still got to run really hot second half of the season.
Yeah. Jeff, I've been going down ledger list. I'm not picking games. He got mad that Noonan not leading the show with Drake May hype shows he's really a Midwesterner now. What a fraud. That's personal. It's a personal attack. 25-19. Not as close as the score indicated. The refs definitely had the Saints and the points here. They lost still. Over 100 yards and the score wiped off the board for phantom calls. I mean, anyone look up, the Stephon Diggs illegal contact on, one of the touchdowns that was called back there. It's just absolutely insane. But look, Drake May did it all kind of himself. They had no running game to speak of. We were kind of thinking, hey, it makes it a little bit easier now, like Ramondre and Travion, because, we took Gibson out of the mix, maybe an understanding of clearer roles moving forward. No, they had no shot. Drake May, I believe, was the leading rusher as well in this game, 28 yards. So Saints are feisty. They did a great job. Again, coaching matters. Like they deserve a ton of credit for what they're doing with Spencer Rattler, who took sacks at an insane rate last season. And he got the ball out, I think, like 2.2 seconds on average on Sunday.
Wow.
Like, just don't let him sit back and try to make a ton of decisions. Have him make decisions very quickly. They peppered Olave with targets. He played well. So kudos to the Saints. I think that's why they continue to be in games because they have good coaching. But Drake May moving up the board, MVP wise, Connor. Hey, he's cooking, baby.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing really well. He had the other one pulled off the board too, right? The Pop Douglas, like another bomb.
The second Pop Douglas, yeah.
Yeah. So like he could have easily had like 330 and 4 basically, or whatever, like 330 and whatever it ended up being. So I think that's interesting. The Saints run defense, I think, is actually decent. I don't know, maybe that's like they've played pretty well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of surprising. Like they again normally get a lot of volume against them because they've been losing a lot, but like on an efficiency basis, I think keep the game close. They're not that bad. They can't run the ball though. Saints can't run the ball. Kamara 10 for 31, Kendre 8 for 21. not good there. Receivers are playing fine. Jawan Johnson now is just like went from being a hero in the first couple of weeks to doing nothing. I don't know. We don't have any insight into why that is. And Rashid Shaheed just continuously lives on like the deep ball. So I don't think this is a good team. Again, 1-5 record reflects that, but they had a chance to win. I mean, there was like down 6 with the ball with a couple minutes left. Somehow, like the Patriots definitely outplayed them, and we're definitely a better team. But the Saints still almost found a way to like at least keep it close. So I don't know. Patriots maybe played with their food too much. Maybe just had bad unlucky. But they gotta learn how like they gotta run the ball eventually. They gotta like figure out how to do that. That's
1,000%. Yeah, got to get it done. Teams can't run against New England either, and that's part of I think why the Saints struggled. But yeah, so poor TJ is going to catch some strays here. Shout out TJ Hernandez, our old colleague here at 4 for 4. When TJ used to be in charge of like organizing some off-season content for us, and they wanted to write like rookie profiles. This is 3 years ago now, and I messaged him on the side. I'm like, hey, I didn't see Kayshon Boutte on the list. I'd like to write up Kayshon Boutte for the Patriots. And he's like, dude, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. This is like one of he was like the number 1 high school prospect going into LSU. Like he was really good, and then had some off-field stuff and like yes. He's like, no, we want to write about guys that are gonna like ever in their life be fantasy relevant. And teach, here we are, Kayshon Boutte getting it done. New England's probably really tough to like nail down who was going to be. We saw a couple of great games from Stephon Diggs. I thought Pop Douglas was going to be more involved this year. We've had some really good Hunter Henry games, but I think this actually speaks to why I remain bullish on Drake May, is that he doesn't have an over-reliance on one guy. They do actually have some guys emerging. We haven't seen anything from Kyle Williams yet. They took a couple shots on Sunday with him, which is good to see, but like maybe he steps up post-bye late in the season. The Pats and the offensive weapons are kind of emerging here a little bit. Like we're getting more out of Diggs, more out of Boutte than I was expecting. So,
and the schedule just continues to open up. So it's like, I mean, they're in a great spot. You talk about it every week, and I think it's worth talking about again. Like their schedule is really easy going forward. So,
yeah, you get the Titans this week and Browns next week, and just not a lot of else remaining clearly on the schedule. So it doesn't mean they can't win or lose games that they are going to be favored in, but they're going to be favored in, I think, all but 3 games moving forward. All right, Raiders are the death nail to the Brian Callahan era, 20-10. His 10 years as head coach, 4-19. Not great. The Raiders, I don't know what to make of it, but look, you get to play the Titans every week. You look okay. 20-10. Anything to take away here from a sloppy game against the sloppy Titans team?
Gentry was still just kept getting hit in the backfield. The Raiders, when they can, don't have a ton of interest in throwing. It seems like just going to try and keep it on the ground, which makes sense because I think they realize with like their current receiving, core and everything that they're not really, and Geno and like the offensive line, they're much better as like a ball control kind of team and like maybe getting some scrappy wins here. I'm interested to see what the Titans do going forward. Like it kind of felt like Callahan already wasn't that involved anyways. So like, I don't know, like Cam Ward, what? I mean, I'm interested to see if Cam Ward can do anything. I don't know, like be a leader, do something, get his guys going. Because right now he's just like out there. He's trying. He's getting better. I think like the games look better, but it's been against like the Raiders and whoever they beat 2 weeks ago. So it's like it's tough.
They're sloppy though. I mean,
they're a really bad team. They're a really, really bad team.
7 penalties.
That's what
3 of 13 on third down. They gave up 6 sacks again. Like they're just giving up 6 sacks like every game. Sacks are killers, drive killers. You have to think about them like early downs. They put you behind the chains down and distance wise. Third downs, they cause a turnover on downs. Like their sacks can be absolutely brutal. And you're just giving up 5, 6, 7 every week. That's really, really tough to come back from. Then interception, a couple lost fumbles. Really, really, really tough. Calvin really got dinged up in this game too. Another scenario where like everyone having to move up the ladder a little bit is petrifying for any upside. we'll see what they look like as Mike Vrabel returns to Nashville this week to get some revenge on a front office that he feels that he was done really wrong by. So we'll see. Pat's currently 7. There's some 7.5s out there. Looks like Pinnacle just came back out with a 7.5, though it is plus 105 on the New England side. So some, half point makes a big difference, but that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like we've learned much about the Raiders because they still didn't pull away, as you mentioned.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It was a game to the end. I don't know. I mean, they're not a very good team either.
Yeah. And they have to go on the road to Kansas City, who gets Rashee Rice back and seems to have caught their mojo. Is about between 11.5 and 13 on the Chiefs. So if you like blindly taking double digits in the division, your mouth is watering. But again, you don't have to bet every game. Reminder.
Yeah, that's a tough sell for me on the Raiders.
Yeah. All right, Tampa Bay 30, San Francisco 19. The attrition on the Niners side continues. Fred Warner is a brutal loss. Again, like we talk about some injuries that are happening. It was a piece together, like highly reliant on a lot of rookies to begin with in San Francisco defensively. And like they were really encouraged. And I think some of the rookies were playing really well, but you had 2 stalwarts. You had, a top 3, top 5 edge rusher in Nick Bosa. He's lost for the season. And you have undoubtedly the best middle linebacker in the game who does so much for them. And he's now out for the season. Going to be really tough for the Niners to kind of bounce back for these. Another team that's suffering a ton of injuries is Tampa Bay, and it doesn't seem to matter for Baker Mayfield, who continues to cook. And again, the Baker buzz, I think, what are we looking at? Like 9 days ago, Baker was like 16-1 to be the MVP. He's put together a couple of very, very nice games and has got himself squarely in the mix among the upper echelon of the MVP race. Thoughts on Bucks Niners?
It's really tough to look at Baker and not be like just wildly impressed with what he's done with like what he has basically at this point and all the different coaches and everything he has going on. I think Baker Mayfield just like the X factor right now on this team. That being said, like it's just the future outlook is not great. It's like,
yeah, it's tough.
Like Buka's going to miss some time. Godwin's going to miss some time. Evans might be coming back next week, they said. So TBD there. It's really tough to I guess they just got to survive, honestly, till their injuries like subside and they are healthier. And the Niners specifically on the other side are just really they're going to keep winning games because they're better than a lot of other teams still. But like it's Kendrick Bourne felt like just like such a pivotal piece of their passing game now, which is hilarious. Like this guy wasn't even on the roster. He was cut from the Patriots like, preseason. And now he's putting up 100 yards a game for this 49ers team. And like Juwan Jennings is clearly not 100%. He was just kind of out there, just doing whatever. So I don't know. I mean, this Niners team just they need to get healthy, and they also need like their guys back, but some of them are just gone for the season. Like you lose Bosa and Fred Warner, like you're just probably toast, right?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, the best case scenario is they just become an overs team. Yeah, as the season as they get healthy, right? Like you start to keep that offense humming. You get Pearsall back. Jennings maybe gets healthy. You still have CMC. Definitely feels next. There's got to be some Final Destination vibes going on for CMC. Like,
oh, for sure.
Like what do I do? So that's really tricky. They're a 3-point home favorite against the Falcons on Sunday night next week. And, interested to see how that line is impacted by what happens on Monday night. If the Falcons kind of show, that could get a little bit shorter. But yeah, I mean, schedule is also remaining very soft for them. That was the whole part of the handicap for them coming in. But this is, again, another reason why Seattle stuff is pretty interesting at 3-1 in that division with, Rams continuing to be thin. Like they're both very top heavy teams that are very star reliant. Like there's a lot of similarities. And while they're great offensive masterminds that can continue to get more out of less, whether it's at quarterback or pass catcher, it still gets really hard. And you really thought you were going to have, an upper echelon performance from Warner and Bosa this year, considering the surrounding cast. Those guys are now out. So going to be really hard for the Niners to generate a ton of pass rush. They don't have a ton of dogs like, Bryce Huff has got to do a lot of heavy lifting. He's been okay this year. He's actually been pretty good, but like you like him a lot when he's working opposite of Nick Bosa versus him just being the guy. So
yeah, it's tough. I mean, if they can pull it together and like somehow make the playoffs, I mean, who knows? Maybe their offense could like fully get healthy, because that's like still a possibility. At least like you get Kittle back, Pearsall, Ayuk, and you have Jennings, and like like Kendrick Bourne becomes your 6th pass catcher at that point. Like that's not a bad offense. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just going to need to score 40 a game because your defense is like toast.
Yeah, that feels like their only path. Tampa Bay on the other side, on the road in Detroit, really, I mean, they're 4.5 point dogs, although there are some 5.5s, which is interesting. Again, probably the attrition that's going on the Tampa Bay side. Let's not ignore the attrition going on Detroit side in the secondary as well. That was definitely the problem for them last night, which is no surprise. And Tampa Bay is it's a team that's going to test, even with the guys that they're running out here. Baker's going to challenge them vertically, and those guys will have to be, Rocky Sin will have to be up for a bunch of that. So we'll see how that goes. So interesting game. It's fascinating is that it's still staying in the low 50s from a total standpoint. So like if your concerns are that Tampa Bay is hurt by all the losses offensively, you would think the total would dip a little bit, but it's kind of holding on. So
I mean, Baker's got Cameron Johnson. He'll be just fine. Cameron with a K.
Cameron with the K. Who I did not know was on the team.
I didn't either. I still don't know anything about him. Like, what's his deal? Like, who is this guy? Like, I
don't know. Is it Cameron the singer?
Yeah.
We have other former rappers catching passes around the NFL these days. So
yeah, Joe said that. I just remember that Darren Waller was a rapper. This is great. Yeah.
This is good too for Joe. The Clint Eastwood on Twitter. Yeah, that was bots came in heavy on the Friday show to talk to us about Papa Eastwood being a grandfather or something like that. It was a really weird tweet.
Cameron Johnson played college football for the Barton Bulldogs. What is that?
Barton Bulldogs.
Yeah, do you know what that is?
I want to say that Barton is in the Charlotte area.
Yeah, he's from North Carolina. So yeah, Barton. Oh, D2. Yeah, D2, South Atlantic Conference.
Good for you, buddy, making the league from D2.
Yeah, this is great. Good for him. Undrafted free agent in 2024. 5'10", 170. Interesting. 2,300 yards in his college career. So probably catching passes from, a D2 quarterback. So, makes sense.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see. Baker, continue to answer the bell, then you will have earned your spot on the MVP board for sure. Green Bay comes off a bye 27-18 against Flacco and the Bengals. Josh Jacobs does his thing. It's more normal Jordan Love Packer stuff where it's like there's some big plays, some of the like basic stuff, just feels like they should have been comfortably ahead in this game for more. This kind of get a little tight late, which is a little surprising. I want to give credit to the Bengals, who are at least trying some stuff defensively. They've benched Logan Wilson at linebacker. They're going with 2 rookies, or at least they did out of nowhere this week, which surprised us in the defensive side of things. But at least hey, the guys that we are trying and using all the time aren't getting it done. So we drafted a bunch of rookies. Let's just try that. Like at least trying something different. Flacco wasn't good, but again, better than I think what we thought Jake Browning was going to be. And that was the thesis behind the move in general. Any thoughts on Packers and Bengals?
Yeah, the Packers, the Bengals defense looked decent for a while. Like they were stopping the run early. They were, keeping Jordan Love at bay. It wasn't all just a slaughter. It was 0-0 first quarter. It was 10-0 at half. Things were, I wouldn't say that the Packers were humming offensively by any means. And then on the other side of the ball, Flacco at first looked really, really, really bad. It took some late kind of, I don't know, heroics is the right word, but kind of some late momentum, I think, to kind of get Chase and Higgins going. So I was a little worried. The first half I was like, oh, it's, why did they make this trade? It's over. So but I think he kind of found some rhythm there, considering he was traded, I don't even know when, late last week, early
Monday
this week. So
Yeah.
the fact that he just comes out here and plays and throws for 219 yards. I mean, again, 4.9 yards per attempt, not good. But I was, again, better than Browning.
1,000%. Yeah. 2 of 7, 36 yards on intermediate stuff for Jordan Love. Just got to get better at that stuff. The deep ball does a huge amount of the heavy lifting there. It's a weapon. He's accurate. They have guys that can do it. And Golden's another guy that can do it for sure. Shout out to Golden, got home for uncorrelated W for us, which we love to see. But yeah, I mean, just want him to be better down to down if we really think that the Packers are going to be a threat late in the season in the NFC playoffs. So can you get these guys to kind of emerge and get healthy? It's another team that I don't think we're seeing the best version of them, but I want to see a little bit more from the quarterback as we continue. Sunday night, 30-17, Kansas City over Detroit. Again, Detroit was working uphill here to begin with, considering Terrion Arnold was out. They just a bunch of injuries. Obviously Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch were not 100%. DJ Reed's already on IR. You're just not going to last against Mahomes and company, and they were able to get it done. Anything to take away from Chiefs and Lions here?
Pacheco outcarried Hunt 12-6, outperformed him. Had probably his, best game of the season, which again is not saying very much.
Yeah.
But like Mahomes and the Chiefs offense, like passing offense seems a little bit revitalized, which is good. Xavier Worthy was probably not healthy. I would assume, only 4 targets. I guess tied for second most of the team with Hollywood, Rashard Smith both getting 4, and then Kelsey getting 7. This Lions team, it just didn't seem to all come together for them. They tried like a super run heavy approach, at least early. 17 carries to 4 for David Montgomery is, interesting. That's notable for sure. And so I don't know. Jameson has most receptions of the season. Like overall, it just seemed disjointed for this Lions team. Like it didn't seem to all come together. And again, the run heavy approach that they tried to keep it close with, which they did the first half. They kind of came back to bite them in the second half when they got put behind. They had to throw on 3 drives basically, and they just couldn't move the ball that well.
Seemed like they were intentional about getting J-Mo involved. Like that felt like early and often to get him more. Again, still plenty for Amon-Ra to eat. Great one-handed touchdown catch for Sam Laporta. But yeah, a not great showing. And even Dan Campbell had talked about it. Probably need to get 30 here tonight to win this football game, considering what they were dealing with defensively and what the Chiefs were going to do, and they couldn't get there. So again, interested to see what they could do here against Tampa Bay. So any other things that we didn't touch on for week 6 or any week 7 looks that you want to share here before we wrap?
Commanders against the Cowboys, I think is kind of interesting. This Commanders might light up the Cowboys.
I agree. I'm interested to see what do you think could happen tonight? What scenarios move this? Because we're 2.5. And Pinnacle at 2.5 minus 102, right? That feels closer to 2 than it does 3. So, I'm with you. If this sits at 2.5, I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, well, I wonder. They could easily dominate the Bears, but they could also, I think, lose outright. In which case, you'll probably get a better value. They'd probably be closer to a pick, something like that, I would guess. So, I don't know. I think depending on what you think happens tonight, that could make sense. But yeah, 2.5 on a look ahead here, I think is pretty interesting. This Cowboys defense is just so bad. Dak is playing great with nothing, or with George Pickens and bunch of nobodies, and yeah, it still just can't get done.
Yeah, I agree. That was jumped out to me for sure. Seattle one I already mentioned. Seattle -3, minus 120. Fine. I would feel good about getting the 3 there versus the 3.5. So I'd be willing to lay that a little bit. The Packers, I want to believe, and I'm still down on whatever's going on in Arizona. So less than a touchdown. And what'll end up being probably a pretty pro Packers crowd. There's a lot of greater Milwaukee, Chicago area people that, retirees that live in Arizona. There's going to be a lot of cheeseheads in that crowd. So a pretty neutral home field situation. I think the Packers at less than 7 is probably a decent look.
Yeah. Packers less than 7. Vikings off a bye against this Eagles team. 2.5 point dogs at home. I don't know. Interesting.
Do you think there's any actual quarterback controversy stuff in Minnesota? Carson
I
Wentz
don't
doesn't
think
look
so.
good enough, right? Yeah, I don't think so either. I've heard
Like
it.
there was the whole narrative or theory going around that like they benched JJ McCarthy, not really because of his injury or whatever, like that whole thing. I mean, it'd be one thing if your option was like still Sam Darnold or they signed Daniel Jones, which I think was an option for them, or they maybe had him last year for a little bit. He was on the practice
Yeah, they
squad or
did.
something like that.
Yeah.
Either of those guys, maybe. I mean, this is Carson Wentz we're talking. I mean, this is like, it can't really be you can't give up on JJ McCarthy after 2 games, you know what I mean? Or
I
whatever, 3
agree.
games.
Disastrous team building situation here, especially with the way Sam Darnold goes. Wentz isn't playing good enough, and there's no way you could feel that you've seen enough JJ. And I don't even think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't good. Like I'm not,
No.
it was pretty bad, but like to make a move like that is pretty drastic. And
Colts money line maybe against the Chargers. I don't know. I mean, that's another one that stands out to me. I mean, just based on the way these teams are playing, and maybe it's kind of all baked in there.
yeah,
But
it'd probably be the
probably
side.
right.
It'd probably be the side. I mean, to be honest, it probably is the right side of that game. Colts getting, a point and a half. The more I think about it, especially if we have no Garrett Wilson, like Carolina's probably the right side. They really are.
Funny.
Like,
That's so funny.
I don't know. New England by margin, by the way. Just
Yes, definitely.
alts. Yeah. I mean, again, there's the obvious narrative, but like you can tell me you're going to get a post coach bump, but like, do they get a new team? Like they're not getting a new team, and that's a problem. So, yeah, Pat's by margin. 7 is great. 7 minus 105 currently on FanDuel. Yes, in on that. So, all right. Any Monday Night Football thoughts? Any sharp stack stuff we could pop up here? See anything we could pick off.
Yeah, let me just
Again,
pop these up.
you got to take advantage of this, people. If you've not already done so, free 7-day trial, no commitment. Don't do anything more than check it out for a week. But if you want MTL 50 for 50% off a month.
Let's hear Luke McCaffrey under 2.5 receptions. Yeah, I mean, probably good. He's just not playing very much. So like minus 140 is worth it. You're seeing minus 170 FanDuel, like bookmaker minus 173. I mean, yeah, as high as basically minus 200. Some exchanges have it minus 175. I think that's interesting. Caleb under passing yards, I don't necessarily love, but again, like some of the sharper books are like high 220s. Zach Ertz under, interesting. Like probably takes 5 catches to get there at this point.
Yeah.
So like I think that's again probably a good look. Jaden Daniels under passing attempts. I don't know. I think they might go run heavy. That could make sense. So I mean, again, we're just kind of trying to like just blindly trust the numbers here. So the least amount of our opinion, the better. I will say the JCM stuff, like Chris Rodriguez not officially out. If for some reason he is not out, I think that you should play rushing attempts here on JCM under. It's like 14.5, something like that. 15.5 at MGM. I mean, that's a pretty good look if Chris Rodriguez plays, because he probably, I mean, I would still assume JCM gets some bulk of the work, but if the Bears are more competitive than we think, then there's no way he's getting 15 carries. If Chris Rodriguez plays a decent amount, which I think he would, he's probably not getting 15 carries. Like there's just a lot of outs on getting that. And I bet it would probably move down to like 12.5 juiced up, 13.5 juiced under, something like that range.
Yeah, it's a good call. He's looked good last time out, obviously against the Chargers. We're struggling a little bit run defense wise, but yeah, that's an interesting one.
I mean, this number is fully baked into like all that.
Yeah.
Like that's, so like this is like assuming basically Chris Rodriguez doesn't play in a good matchup, like, and his favorites. I mean, it's not that often you get numbers in the 70s for guys like Ja'Cory Cross-King Merritt,
Yeah. Debo, what is that?
There's receiving yards.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I have no idea what to do with Debo. I keep asking around, ask some other people, but like, you heard anything? Massive range of outcomes. I think that all of his numbers, his rushing numbers are short. His receiving numbers are almost certainly short if he's playing a full role. But I'm just not that convinced that he is going to play a full role. So I have no idea. Yeah.
I took some 52.5 early in the week. At this point, I'd almost rather just have him ruled out. I mean, it's still a good number. It had climbed up a little bit, but I don't know what to make of it with the heel injury. And yeah, it could be a bad ticket to be able. So
while we were live, they said he was going to play. But I always think like, I don't know, whenever you think like, whenever it's like that close of like, oh, this guy is now gonna play. It's like, was it that close to begin with? Like, that's how
I know.
injured is this guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or he's like, guys are like, he's a true game time decision. It's like, well, no, he's out. He's actually going to be out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
You're like,
okay.
oh,
What happened overnight?
literally. Coach
not
Speak
great.
Index had a quote on him too from like a couple days ago. Said Devo. So Dan Quinn said Devo Samuel bruised his heel. That can be painful to go, but it will usually turn eventually. We'll manage as best we can. I don't think we'll have to manage it for the season. Sometimes you have to manage it day to day. We'll take it into Monday with him. That's what he said. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's. I don't know. I mean, just like should
Joel
probably
shot.
be. Yeah, it's probably just a stay away and like not play anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I play James Cook over 15.5 rushing attempts. It's juiced out a little bit now on DraftKings and Builder. Still think it's a good look. I actually don't even hate 16.5, plus money like that for tonight. And on some of the Drake London play, it played over 5.5 receptions. That's cooked out. You cannot.
Yeah, what are we at now? It's dead. Is it like?
Yeah, I think it's
minus 170, minus 180. Yikes.
Yeah, I played minus 105. So
nice.
Like that. And Rome stuff. Rome's going to cook tonight. It's out a couple of yards, but I still think that's in play. 64.5 receiving yards for Rome. I think it's a good spot tonight. So let's have a night. Let's have a night and get back some of the Gunnar Helm, Isaiah Davis money from yesterday.
Love it.
So, all right. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Hopefully you're enjoying the new format here on a Monday. I think it's good for us to kind of unpack a little bit. Look forward to the week ahead. Love to know your thoughts. Let us know. Again, subscribe, move the line wherever you listen to podcasts. 4 live on the YouTube channel. Come back same time, 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday for Move the Line prop drop with Slop. We can do all that stuff. Get all of our stuff, and we can continue to have some of these slop tight ends costing us. We're going to get us off the floor. We're going to get, we get Slop dialed in the lab a little bit more, diversify the portfolio a little bit. The tight end 5 reception thing is it's not getting us there.
Should we block Slop's next tight end 5 reception play and just say like,
I got to really feel good about it to get it in the parlay moving forward.
I think we should introduce a new segment where we can veto one of each other's plays in the parlay. Not overall plays, but like we have a veto once a week if the other 2 people agree on it, which I'm probably going to get vetoed at some point. Well, I don't put my unders in the parlay. Otherwise,
yeah, your unders don't go in the parlay.
They would be vetoed every week. So
yeah, and we typically like your overs because they're so rare that we're like, oh, okay, Connor feels really good about this one. So
yeah,
I'll
usually the same ones you were on, or like mostly the same ones you're thinking anyway. So it's,
to be fair, my Gunnar Helm 30 plus didn't get us there either. So I don't mind. I don't mean for Slot to be catching strays. Just I'm still bitter about the 49 for Fergie. So all right, appreciate everyone hanging out with us. For Connor, I'm Ryan. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks everybody.